You got to hurry, though. There's a storm coming! His storm!
You know what this represents?
Tell us, sir.
Maybe it's the calm before the storm.
What's the storm?
Could be the calm before the storm.
What storm, Mr. President?
You'll find out.
Hey everybody, it is August 5th, 2020, and here is another article that they're putting in mainstream news that completely contradicts their actions. This is from Fox yesterday. New research suggests children may be potentially be important drivers of CV19 spread. Really? Okay, let's just listen to what they say. Right? Says, in a study published in JAMA Pediatrics on July 30th, researchers found that children can potentially be important drivers of SARS-CoV-2 spread in the general population. Noting that children with high viral loads are more likely to transmit. The study researchers said their data was limited to detection of viral nucleic acid or viral RNA, which represents pieces of the CV genetic makeup, but is different from the virus itself. It says the researchers stated that high levels of the viral RNA contribute to the spread of CV19 within the human body. The study coincides with the ongoing discussion by health and education officials across the country as parents prepare to send their children back to school amid a widespread surge in CV cases in the U.S. Absolutely not. I'm not debating or preparing to send my child back. There's no chance. It's not even going to happen. Between March 23rd and April 27th, Chicago researchers performed nose swabs tests on 145 patients who experienced mild to moderate CV symptoms within a week after their symptoms began. It says the patients were divided into 3 groups. The first consisted of 46 children younger than 5. The second group was made up of 51 adolescents between 5 and 17 years old, and the third group consisted of 48 patients aged 18 to 65. While the study authors stated that early reports have yet to find strong evidence that children are major contributors to the spread of CV19, school closures halted the potential for a large-scale investigation into schools as a source for community transmission. See, there you go. There is their way out. I've been repeating this over and over and over again, okay? They leave themselves back doors. Okay, so right here, they send these kids back to school, and then they have this. They said, well, we did try to study it, but we couldn't because kids weren't in school at the time, so there was no way, for a large-scale investigation into schools as a source for community transmission. Oh, but guess what? We found out, yep, they are. Yep, they are. So now it's spreading everywhere through the kids. This is just the same thing they're going to continue to use, okay? I'm not going to read this entire article. It just frustrates me. I'll leave it in the description to this because these things are just piling up. More and more stories like this where they are spreading the news of how this is going to spread worse, okay? You have schools, okay? Right now, with what just happened with the so-called hurricane that more was a Frankenstorm, it looked like a 60-mile wide tornado. That storm was like nothing I have ever seen. It reminded me of Michael, but way smaller, when it comes to the top end, but how it formed so close to the board, so close to, to the U.S., and also had no reports of any wind out past that. Somehow, when it gets close to the United States, gets close to these different types of military bases that happen to have maybe technology to turn on certain things or to push these storms or build these storms, then they take off and do the damage that it did. Okay? But with that, what I'm getting to is they've been talking about how the power companies are all coming down, right? Oh, they're right there, they're spread out, and guess what? These power companies are from over the United States. So they even are doing, talking to them on the Weather Channel saying, well, what are your, restrictions? How are you having your employees work out here while they're working on the power? Well, we're doing the best that we can, but we can only, try to follow social distancing and wear a mask. But, in this type of work, it's impossible to block, to be 100% positive that you're not spreading this. And my mouth just dropped. Like, yeah, there you go. So now after this, they all go back to their home states. They can use that as an excuse why these numbers, why they can say, oh, it just blew up again. Here we go again. These are repeated over and over and over again. And I'm telling you right now, this was a test from top to bottom. That hurricane, that entire thing from where it started to where it is right now was a test. And you want to see why I know that? Check this out. This is how I know that that was used as a test run, as a drill. They are the ones that manipulated that storm to do what it did so that they could be ready when they unleash their next set of storms. Because it won't just be one. It will be multiple attacks just like they always do. Look at these articles, and I will do a follow-up. I'm working on a full follow-up on all these different articles and all these different times they've been talking about these, hurricanes being tests and that it was prepping them for the next one, for the next storm. It says, Tropical Storm Isaias, an excellent test run for Florida ahead of peak hurricane season. See? They continue to tell you, we aren't even in the peak yet. This is nothing. Just wait for mid-September.
Every hurricane season is different, but there are common indicators to all of them. The first 2 months of the hurricane season are typically a warm-up for the main event. June averages a named storm every other year, whereas July tends to see one named storm. Many of these early season storms originate from weather systems close to home. But as we get later into August, we focus more on the African easterly waves rolling across the Atlantic. The peak of hurricane season occurs in September, and there are many reasons why this month is the busiest for dangerous storms. Early September is when the African easterly ocean waves are most developed. Wind shear with its capability to squelch developing storms tends to be low. Ocean temperatures also rise toward a peak in early fall, and the atmosphere's ability to generate thunderstorms that help initiate tropical activity is also greater. Past seasons have shown us just how bad September, even October, can be. In 2019, Hurricane Dorian formed and it hit between August the 24th and September the 7th. In 2018, Hurricane Florence developed between August 31st and September 17th. Meanwhile, Hurricane Michael developed between October 7th and the 11th, leaving a trail of destruction in the Florida Panhandle as a Cat 5 storm. And in 2017, besides Hurricane Harvey in Texas, Hurricane Irma formed between August the 30th and September the 12th. While Hurricane Maria caused destruction in Puerto Rico during its lifespan between September 16th and September 30th. The outcome of any hurricane season is always unpredictable, so you need to always be prepared.
Isaias, a test for Florida's nursing homes. These are what you continue to see. The collision of a pandemic and a hurricane presents Florida's nursing homes with extra challenges. But hey, they just got a test run. So they'll be ready next time when they want to take you, put you in different shelters, not allow you to leave certain areas or force you to leave certain areas, or move your family members, your mother, your father, your grandpa, your grandma from these nursing homes like they did. They moved them from the nursing homes that you're not allowed to go and see them in, but they took them and moved them to different towns just because, oh, a storm was coming. A storm that didn't even hit. Do you see how they use it? They continue to use it. CD19 is nothing more than a cover to be able to do everything that they're pulling behind the scenes. It's time to wake up, because if you don't see it now, you are going to be in a situation where they're literally laughing because you're just following the next sheep in front of you to the slaughter. You have to see this. The information is there.
And so that means there is more available energy for hurricanes to develop.
That was Florida. Here's North Carolina. With Tropical Storm Isaias, health providers, emergency managers, and providers face a test run of pandemic storm prep. And once again, Isaias, a worthy practice run for West Palm Beach. All I'm going to say is please prepare. And don't prepare the way they tell you to prepare. Prepare on your own. Prepare with a plan for your family. And make sure everybody knows what you're going to do in these types of situations. Whether it's a hurricane, a tornado, a wildfire, or just any type of emergency. Because they are betting that when you get scared, you're going to flip on the TV, flip on the internet, flip on your phone, and listen to them and ask them, where do I go? What can I do? How do I get here? How do I get the supplies? And that's when you fall directly into their hands. Then they lead you to wherever they want to lead you. And only God knows what that's going to be. Right now, the shelters, you have to wear masks, and you have to wear gloves, and you have to be tested. Next time, it will be, you have to make sure you take the vax. Or you'll have to have a certificate showing you have the vax, so you can't even get into one of these shelters. Or you can't even evacuate the area. Or you can't come into a different area. This will not stop. Please, share this information. I will leave links to all this, and I am doing a follow-up on this. It's got a little bit more in depth. But you can see the writing on the wall. Please prepare. Please talk to your family. Please share this information. I love you all. We have to stick together. If we don't stick together right now, then they know. They know that the more they divide us, that the weaker we become. So please, stand with me on this. Stand with your neighbors. Stand with your family, and we will beat this evil. I love you all. You all have a great day. No fear, no panic. We'll talk to you soon. God bless.